I would even do that shit. Like if I had somebody, a white person like in my crew, all on video talking about nigga this and that, I wouldn't condone that. That's not what I'm saying because that's gonna be viewed at a whole bunch of people. It's gonna feel a lot.
See, that's the part that confuses me.
Because I sit in the privacy of somebody I can't.
No, you keep saying exactly.
Dead in hip hop conversations.
Like sit down, dead in
Hip hop conversations. We're here with Night Wonder. What's good, homie? Peace to the age. Dead in hip hop. It was in the comment section, man. Shout out to everybody that leave comments, man, and chop it up with us. Where one of the viewers, subscribers, Imperial Shalom, shout out to Imperial Shalom, left a comment, and he was basically stating that he had a bone to pick because it was this rapper, V Nasty, that was white, that uses the N-word a lot. So he decided to take a look at what he was talking about. And lo and behold, not only does it exist, it exists on a grander scale than I anticipated. I thought it would just be one or two, and then it would be over with. Nah. She's all the way in, comfortable, and defends it to the T. You know what?
I don't think it's a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick.
Well, not a gimmick. That's her thing.
It's her thing.
That's just her.
That's what she do.
I mean, I don't care if I knew her or knew anything about her or knew her from childhood. I don't care what that circumstance is. I don't think she should be saying it that freely, just open like that. I didn't like it. That's just me personally. I didn't like it at all. I was like, what the hell? These dudes got me checking out these videos of this dumbass female saying.
So you were mad?
I mean, yeah, I was mad when I was watching it, but I mean, I wasn't like, man, boom, like she should say, niggas shouldn't say that shit. Like I wasn't like just about to lose it. I mean,
but you felt a certain type of way about her saying it, like you don't approve of it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that chick crazy, man. Yo, that shit is crazy. Like you said, I didn't expect for it to be at that capacity. When I read comments and I saw Krayshawn's video Gucci and and I kind of knew about him, but I didn't really until we did this topic request. And I'm thinking, okay, she says it every here and there, but she's like nigga this, nigga that, nigga. I felt some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? I felt strongly about it too.
And really over the last month or so, I was talking about this media about this. It's just kind of blown up to the point where it's becoming an issue. And I don't know if you saw Mr. Fab defended her.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about this whole situation. I sat there and I watched about 10 fucking V Nasty videos, and yeah, it did piss me off. It bothered me, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised. Because it's like, we let this shit happen. This isn't the first time somebody's fucking said nigga. I can't count how many battles I've been to where white dudes have spit nigga in the battle. There's battles you can go watch online. Like there's a classic one where dude said, I'm used to sonning niggas. My baby's mama's half black. And people are like, oh shit. Not that big of a deal. White dudes say shit all the time, but for some reason it still bothers me.
Well, I feel you, man, but at the rate that V Nasty is doing that's it's like
Rage
it's over.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Let's go back to the conversation that we had before, where you said that if you had a homeboy that said it on a regular basis, that wouldn't bother you because he was your friend. How are you saying that that's okay, but you're upset with V Nasty doing it?
This is the thing. I called my brother because my brother, one of his best friends in college right now, is a white boy. He's come to my crib. We chilled. He's cool. He says, nigga. I called him. I said, yo, does John say nigga? Because he never really said it in my presence, or I just didn't catch it. And I said, does that bother you? And he said, nah, not really. Not to the point where I'm going to be upset. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying like while you conversating, building or something.
Yeah, like my brother might be like, yo, man, did you see that shit, my nigga? And he's like, yeah, man. Or, yeah, nigga, I saw that. Or, I don't know. Yeah. But in that nature of the conversation, It is what it is. I don't even at V Nasty, I feel some type of way, but I don't feel angry enough to be like, oh well, you know, she's. I'm not.
I'm angry.
But you're giving certain people passes, but you're saying
No,
that she can't.
No. I'm not saying
That's
that.
where I'm confused.
No, I'm not saying that she can't say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she can't say nigga.
Okay.
If she so chooses to say nigga, we have free speech. If that's what she wants to say,
Fuck
Oh,
free
not
speech.
free speech,
Fuck free
man. Not
speech. No,
the
What do
free
you mean?
speech.
If that's what she wants-
We're not even going that route.
Okay.
We're not going that route. What we're talking about is we're not saying that someone should shut her down. What we're saying is, do we as people is there an issue? Do we feel like there is an issue with her saying nigga? Now my issue is I don't feel that white folks should say that shit, period. Now, do I get mad? Do I get pissed off? No. I just think they're fucking clowns. I don't even say nigga. I don't personally use that kind of language. Do I get upset when other black folks call each other nigga? No, that's your right. But now, do I get upset when white people go around talking about what up nigga? Yeah, you sound like a fucking idiot. And you don't, in my opinion, you don't have the fucking right to say that. Now, again, we're going back to you have friends that will say it and you say it's okay. But when you see this chick saying it,
It's because
you say it's not okay.
Wait,
She's saying it very ignorantly.
Wait, no, she's not. She's saying it
the
just
same
like
way
she
anybody
if
else
she
would.
did-
Okay, so when she's out in the street and she is somebody that she doesn't even know, yo, what's up, my nigga? What's
She
up?
did it on the
She
video.
did it, she did it.
That's
a
what I'm
lot.
saying. So
And-
so she's
How was
doing that
that-
shit very ignorantly.
How
No,
was that
that's not
ignorant?
ignorant.
How is that not
Let me tell
ignorant?
you how she's doing it.
Okay.
She's doing it like she's a black person that's been allowed to
say
it.
that's been allowed to say it.
Thank you.
If you were listening to any of her songs and not watching the videos, you would have no freaking clue she was white because
Right.
she used that shit like she's black.
He's right. That's
Like
what
that
it
is
is.
black.
Yeah, that's why I
See,
got it
think
from
about
when I was
ignorant.
looking at it.
No, she's not ignorant.
Other white people don't
And
think
she
it.
know what the fuck she's doing because she said it on the video. She was like, you know, on the video, what did she say?
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I know.
She like, wait, straight up on some nigga shit.
Yeah, on some nigga
Right,
shit.
What the fuck,
Yo,
man?
on some
Right.
real nigga shit.
On some real
So
nigga
you
shit.
a real
So
nigga?
you're a real
What the
nigga
fuck,
now.
Man, come on, man.
Right.
No way in hell.
Come on, dude. You can't-
And
you
the
can't
problem,
defend one person to be
No,
upset.
like,
no.
cool
And you know what the problem necessarily isn't her. The problem is all of those people that are in her videos that are black,
That allow her
that are jumping up behind them, celebrating and acting like fucking clowns, like the shit's cool. The problem is the people. The problem is us because we don't regulate it. We allow it to happen, and we may call freedom of speech. We may use that because we don't want to bring up the issue or we don't want to cause friction or whatever. It's not that. And the second problem is the fact that we continue to use it because we try to take the power out of the word. Fuck that. You got to realize the power in that word will always remain. You're talking about slavery. You're talking about where a race that was oppressed for years. Years. You cannot take the power out of that word, whether you say ER or whether you say A. It's the same thing. Because if a white person come up and he call you a nigga, you will get mad. There's no way around it. No way around it. And you can't just say, oh, you know, that word don't mean shit to me. No, it's not.
To a degree, I agree with Ken to a degree. I don't get personally offended when I hear black folks talk about what up nigga, what up nigga, what up nigga. I mean, I know, you know, some of us say it. Not I don't say it, but some of y'all say that shit. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I personally just think it sounds stupid. But shit, if I'm listening to a fucking Big Just album, yeah, when he says nigga, I'll repeat that shit. But what you won't hear me doing is walking around town talking about what up nigga. What's going on, nigga? No, I don't do that. But I don't judge other folks. I don't judge other black folks for doing
like
that
a
shit.
personal preference.
But once again, the problem is white folks doing it. My issue is when V Nasty says, you know, I say nigga because I grew up in Oakland. You haven't walked in my shoes. You don't understand. My thing is, you don't have the right because you haven't walked in my shoes.
Exactly.
You haven't walked through Conyers, having fucking pickup trucks driving by. Fucking dirty nigger. Run, nigger. Fuck you, nigger. When you go through that shit, then you have the motherfucking right to say that. Until then, you don't understand what's coming out of your mouth. You can't walk around talking about nigga this, nigga that, nigga that, just because you grew up in fucking Oakland. And you can, and you will never. I've been to Oakland. You can never convince me that Oakland is okay with you doing this shit.
Exactly.
No way.
And you
No.
know what?
And I picked that up when I was watching that
Mr.
video.
Fab thing. Mr. Fab defending that shit. Mr. Fab, I know you probably won't see this, but if you do, you really fucking disappointed me with that shit because you sounded stupid. Dead up. Because he said, well shit, you know, she's real. She been to jail for armed robbery. Oh,
Like, wow, that
hold
solidified
on,
that
hold on.
shit?
So
That's
because
crazy.
so now we're rating everything black to being fucking
Negative.
ignorant. So
Or
because you go to jail for armed robbery, that means that you can
Black.
come out and you are part of the black community, that you are automatically accepted.
Nope.
You sound like a fucking fool
So,
right now.
so crime now is synonymous with being a nigga.
with-
Nigga,
right.
No matter who
Pretty much.
does it.
That's
Get
what
the
he-
fuck
that's
out
what
of
pretty
here,
much
man.
saying. That's
So
stupid
that's
as hell,
being a
man.
real nigga
That's
now.
Stupid ass
Okay,
shit.
You get locked up, that's being a real
So
nigga
once
now.
again, I want to understand your perspective though, because I'm still confused as to why you feel that this is an issue, but you don't feel that other white people, just because you're friends with them, it's okay. Because you also said that if one of B's homeboys walked in the house and said, "What up, nigga?" that if B was cool with him, then you were cool with him saying nigga. Now, why are you cool with this person saying nigga, but you're not cool with V Nasty saying it?
After watching all of these V Nasty videos, and any way that they use it, I just found that highly offensive. I found it
So,
offensive.
so you think that they shouldn't say
But
it
when
at
your
all?
friend said it, you didn't find it offensive?
Not then. Now I do.
But why? Why now?
Because I seen it from another perspective.
What perspective you see?
I seen it through a camera, somebody else doing it. When it's your friend, it's like, all right, yeah, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? All right, we cool.
That's what I want you to explain.
That's what she's doing.
Exactly. That's what
Okay,
I'm confused.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like seeing another group of people do it. It just changed my perspective because she's doing it like too much. The people that I hung around with, or John, for example, he's not out here going, yeah, nigga, yeah, nigga. He's not going walking down the
So what is
street.
he doing?
It's just us in conversation. We're at the
So
crib.
you don't have a problem with him actually saying the word. You have a problem with them with the frequency of the word being
It's
used?
not the
What about the
frequency of
principle
word.
of the whole issue?
I'm still
Oh
lost
my
right
God.
now. Last week, let's be real. You guys were arguing with me vehemently. You were
Okay.
vehemently arguing with
But-
me.
but
So
Mike,
all
I
it
had
took,
one
all it
friend.
took was one video of one white girl saying nigga about 10 times, and
Right,
your
had
entire
one
perspective
friend.
changed.
And the
Yeah,
whole
but-
thing, we're not talking about the fact that you had one friend. We're talking about the fact that it was permitted.
Exactly.
It was permitted for them to say it. And a couple of things, if I could try to remember what was said, it was what Modest Media was saying was the way that people grow up and the neighborhoods that they grow up in, he can understand
Why they
them
would say
being allowed to say it. I can't understand why the black folks allowed them to say it.
Exactly.
I can understand him understanding that, but I can't understand why the fuck, if you're a black person and you don't went through all of this shit, that you would be okay with this, with another person saying it. For me, it doesn't make sense. I grew up in fucking Mississippi. I encountered a lot of racism. Had fucking race wars in school. We talking about a handful of black folks fighting a whole bunch of white folks, including the fucking teachers. Shit is real.
I feel
Shit
you.
is real.
But Ken,
And now all of a sudden, wait a second. Now all of a sudden, we hit the year 2000, and all of a sudden, everything is supposed to be cool.
Just because white people are accepted in hip hop, it's okay for them to say nigga.
But it's okay.
Yo.
And you know what?
What the fuck is that about?
Yo.
It irritates the hell out of me. And a couple of years ago, back when they were playing hip hop on radio, Power 106 in Cali, they used to play nigga, bitch, and hoe all the time. And some guy named Shaheed heard it. He was offended. He rallied, and all of a sudden it was censored. Prior to then, it was cool because what he was saying was that a lot of these teenagers growing up would not be able to discern the difference in the application of that word. And that is the thing I think we are kind of experiencing here, where when we allow it, we are basically giving free. We're basically saying, "Hey, go do what
Ken,
you
let
want
me
to
ask
do."
you. You say you grew up in Mississippi, right? And you had a lot of race wars and stuff. You know what my culture is. Do you think that I went through any of that? Do you think I could relate to that word the same way you do? And didn't you say last week that also that it was, even though I'm Cuban, you said it was cool for me to say it because I'm not white, right? And
What
you,
I said was, and I can explain that very simply. The word nigga / nigger has a certain power, a certain connotation, and no matter what the fuck anybody says, I don't give a shit who's saying it, you will not take the power away from that word. Now, who is behind the power of that word? A white person. A white person throwing nigger at me is completely different than a Cuban person throwing nigger at me.
Okay.
Because you could never powerfully throw nigger at me. Never. Never. Because you are a minority.
You know what, Mike? And I agree with every point that you made. But again, the way I grew up, I didn't grow up American. I didn't. Everything.
doesn't matter how-
Yes, it
No, it
does.
doesn't,
Because you know what?
Michael.
Because growing up, you know what I'm saying? All of that racism stuff did not apply to us. It didn't apply. Like, I was sheltered from it. All I learned about it was in school. You know what I'm saying? That's all I learned. And it didn't hit close to home.
The thing is this. at the end of the day, it's well documented.
Exactly.
Well documented about the oppression that African Americans have suffered at the hands of white Americans. We're not making this shit up. It's in the history books. You have movies. You know what I'm saying? You can see the cruel and foul things that were done to our race over and over again if you want to watch it, or you can read it. You know what I'm saying? So just that alone should be like, you know what? Nah, something has to give. That's why you have guys like Cage. You know what I'm saying? That hey, they back up and say, you know what? My bad, I'm wrong. Or you have Krayshawn, who admitted, it's not my place.
You know, bringing up Cage, yeah, he put out an interview a while ago, because back in the day when he came out, he used to fucking drop that shit. But he put out an interview where he said, you know what? I realized that I was fucking wrong. I had no business saying that. And you know what? He put out this term that me and my friends have used before, the subtle blackface. You know, by you acting like this, you are throwing on the subtle blackface. Your friend, even though I don't know him, to a degree, he's throwing a subtle blackface directly in your presence. And that is fucking disrespectful. You are acting a certain way. You are trying to act like you think you should act. Just because you listen to hip-hop, just because you grow up around a certain type of people, does not mean you have to act a certain type of way. And your friend, I don't know him again, I don't know where he grew up, I don't know who he grew up around. But he, still being a white person, he should have sense enough to know, you know what? There are certain lines I should not cross. And that is the main fucking one. But I wish we could get Rod on camera, because if we can't get your perspective, I want to get his perspective, because you were saying that it was kind of okay, right?
Hey.
No, I was saying that I understood.
But you understood it, right?
No. I was saying that I understood the people. You were saying that you didn't understand. Not saying that I know people that do it.
Yeah, and does it bother
I know people that do it.
Right.
And I find myself in the hood, or where they're doing it, in the presence of where we are.
Right.
That I kind of give them a pass, same way I would give him a pass, because I knew how they came up and I knew how they grew up. What V Nasty is doing is what I was saying, where I agree with you. I think it's our job to tell them and put them in place. Like, look, that shit is cool here, but you can't be going out there saying all this nigga shit, nigga that shit. That's basically what he's saying. I guess that's
But
what he's saying.
why is it okay around your friends, but it's not? I'm sorry. Yeah, why is it okay when they're around y'all and they're around your friends, but it's not okay for them to go on TV and do it? It's not okay for them to go on videos. That's where I'm not understanding this shit. It should not be okay across the fucking board.
So you wouldn't check the person that's sitting around you because of your
I'm
understanding?
not saying that I wouldn't check them per se. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be checked. Like I said, I don't think anyone should say it. Let's just make that clear. But if you said that's how you grew up, I can't tell you to just stop fucking saying that.
Why not?
I mean, that's not my place. It
is your place.
As a black
who
man,
else is
it's
gonna
not
do
your
it?
place.
It is your
Wait,
place.
hold on.
Let me talk. It's not my place to tell anybody to say whatever they want to say. I can leave and say, look, I don't fuck with you. I can leave and do whatever I want to do. Mm-hmm. But you can still, because when I turn my back and leave, you're still gonna fucking say it.
You're right.
So I'm wasting my breath.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if you're walking around, right, and you got a bunch of your homeboys, and you got your baby daughter with you,
okay,
and me and Raquel are talking about, you know what? I can't wait to fuck this bitch. Okay. How would you say something to us about talking like that around your daughter?
Yeah, because I personally don't use that language in front of my daughter. So don't talk like that, because I don't even really.
So do you?
Right. So
but
you're saying it's your. But you're saying it's your place to stop us from saying that, because it bothers you as a father.
I would say, look, if y'all can kind of, you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's y'all prerogative. But if y'all, it's my daughter. Out of respect for my daughter.
Right. So why, out of respect for me as a black male, why would you not say out of respect for me?
I never said that I was cool with his boy. Like the analogy he used about somebody coming in, his boy,
right,
saying like, oh yeah, it's my nigga. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily cool with that, because you don't know everybody else in the room.
No, you were saying that if it was a guy that grew up around a bunch of black folks, that you said that you would give him a pass.
I said that I understand.
You would not check him.
I said that I know people like that. I said I know people like that,
right,
and I understand it. I don't necessarily have to check him if I knew him. I personally grew up with him. If he come around y'all and y'all have a problem with it, I'm like, look, man, my boy right here, he doesn't really. Same thing with my daughter. I said, my boy right here, he doesn't really, you know what I'm saying, he don't like that shit. Can you just, you know what I'm saying, not say that? Because my boy Mike, he don't like that shit, so cool it on that. Same thing with my daughter.
So you would
my
check
daughter, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So with my daughter, same thing. Y'all might say it, but I'm saying for the you know what I'm saying.
He's saying
my
for
daughter.
himself
For
personally.
myself personally.
He doesn't care.
Right,
What?
and you were saying, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So you do agree with that?
Yeah, like-
that if there's a dude around you saying it, you would not check him. You would not be like, look, man, that's not
Because
cool.
because if it offends somebody else, then it offends somebody else. You know.
that's
How
what
does
he
it?
said.
But how
That's
does
what
it not
he said.
defend you
That's-
guys though?
Yeah, I'm not confused. How does it not
I don't.
offend you?
I can't explain it. All I know is that I have a certain understanding of it. I have a certain understanding of it. I can't explain it. I know guys like this. They've said it, and I felt myself should be saying something, but something in me just like, well, I don't know why I fucking accept. I just don't know.
And I just feel like it's my culture.
It's just
personally
to-
for me.
But that's why I wanted to ask you.
I'm not saying that I don't have
He's
to. I'm not
not.
saying you guys are wrong for checking somebody.
Why not?
Oh, you saying we're
I'm not saying
no,
that
you're
you're
saying
wrong.
No, he's not saying we're wrong. He's just saying
I'm
that
just
he
saying that I
personally would not
understand.
do that.
I'm saying I
If
personally
that,
want
but
to
that's the
understand.
part that I don't really understand.
Right.
Is that
Because
people. I mean, I get. Okay, here's the thing. There's a difference between understanding and condoning. Right
Exactly.
now,
Okay.
but the way I'm looking at it right now is you're kind of doing both.
Right.
If you and your homeboys are hanging out, and a white dude walks up and he's dropping nigga, you are saying that you would not check him, that you would not say anything, and that you wouldn't really be bothered by it.
This is just some random
This
white
is just
guy.
some white dude that your homeboy knows,
That my homeboy
that
knows.
your homeboy knows, that your homeboy's cool with,
Okay.
and that you might have heard of this person, that he grew up around groups of black people.
Okay.
So he feels that since he grew up around a bunch of black people, that it's okay for him to say nigga, right? So this person walks up and he's, yo, what y'all niggas doing? Y'all niggas chilling?
I'm
What's
gonna be
going
like,
on,
what
niggas?
the fuck? I told you that about Gerardo, and he's not even white.
So you would check him.
I'm not saying that I
And
would
somebody
check
that
him.
he doesn't know.
But that's what I'm
Listen what I'm
saying.
saying. That's you keep trying to throw checking him in there. Even if he did that, I'm not saying that I'm just gonna check him like, yo, what the fuck you doing? I'm not
Okay.
gonna say that, but I'm gonna feel some type of way about it. I'm just not gonna come out my mouth and just be like, yo, what the fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Out of respect for his boy or whatever. But I will in my mind say, I don't know how I feel about
But you
that.
know what? Let me say this. I think the issue is that we don't have enough people saying what the fuck is wrong with
Exactly.
Okay, but hold on.
That's it.
But you
That's
said,
fine.
But he's
but look,
right though, because we are condoning.
you. Yes.
okay, but look, like
All those people in the Be Nasty and Krayshawn
They're
video
condoning.
that hang around
But
this
that's
shit.
like I would even do that shit. Like if I had somebody, a white person on like in my crew, all on video talking about niggas this and that, I wouldn't condone that. That's not what I'm saying because that's gonna be viewed at a whole bunch of people. It's gonna feel a lot.
See,
of
that's the part
But
that
with
confuses
section-
me.
because I sit in the privacy of somebody. I can't.
No, you keep saying exactly. Why is it okay for
Because
us to
you're
say
putting
it in a
everything in
private room,
boxes.
but it's not okay for saying
I'm
it in
not
fucking
saying that
public?
it is. I said that I understand people and I know people and I know over years that for whatever reason in me, I didn't feel the need to check them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
Right.
that somebody shouldn't come on. Cause I have a best friend. My best friend or whatever was with a white guy I knew that said nigga, and my best friend came like, and he checked him. I'm not gonna say nothing about him checking him, cause yo, hey, that's the consequences. If you wanna go
Right.
around saying that shit, just know that some of my niggas gonna get in your ass about it. Like you can say whatever you wanna say, but don't expect me to protect your ass when somebody come handle your ass
But
about it.
winding back to what you keep saying, and you guys have both said this, that if it's in the confines of somebody's house, it's fine. It's not a big deal. You got
Nah,
you
keep
did
on
say
working.
that.
Okay,
Don't
wait,
take
wait,
that
wait,
back.
wait,
Because
wait,
you
wait,
just,
wait,
because you
wait.
just
Okay,
said it.
okay,
Hold
okay,
on,
no,
hold on.
but-
Let me finish my shit. Let me finish my shit. You just said that if it's in the confines of your room or somebody's house, that it's not that big of a deal. But when it gets to a public scale, then you have a problem.
Let
What?
me
What?
Let me add a
that Rod is saying that he won't do it
Let me add a
personally.
piece to that. The piece is what Rod is saying is that if he understood how they grew up, based on how they grew up, so the privacy of their own home
And how they
and
grew up.
how they grew up,
Right.
he would understand it and personally wouldn't feel obligated to check that person.
Okay.
Did I get it
But-
right?
Yeah, I personally wouldn't feel. I'm not saying I don't feel some type of way about it because at
No,
the
I
end of the
got
day,
you on that.
he's
I
a
got
white
you on
person.
that. I
But
got
what
you
I'm
on
saying is, I don't feel obligated. I'm not the nigga police. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the dude that's saying like, look, you need to stop saying that. You need to stop
I
saying
feel
that.
you.
You need to stop saying that because you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Just know that if somebody come handle your ass about it, I'm not gonna be the.
But why
I'm
can't
not-
they- why can't we
But
be the police?
he said if there was a camera and dude was filming it, then you'd have a problem.
Then
Now,
I
why
have a
is that?
problem.
Why?
Because
Why?
you're gonna offend a lot of people. You're gonna offend a mass amount of people, and it's like, yo, you might want to kill that shit. I'm not gonna let them just like her sister should come in like, yo, you might not need to do that.
But see, that's the part that
Yeah.
I'm confused about.
But that-
You
you
guys
confused
are
about-
bothered
no,
by
no,
it being
no,
on
I'm just
camera.
saying, me personally, I'm just saying that I feel a little bit more comfortable when it's just me and him. But when I know other people there, just like I said with you, if you were there, I would feel some type of way about that too. If I knew you didn't like it, I would tell him the same way I would tell him if it was a camera there. That yo, you don't need to say that because you don't know who's behind that camera that doesn't like it. Same way I would be in the place with you and say, look, you don't need to say that because Mike doesn't like it. It's the same thing.
But the thing is, why can't we be the police?
Who
I
else is gonna
personally
do
don't
it?
want to be.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
wanna
saying.
do it.
Why? But you just said you feel like you shouldn't be the nigga police.
But you know what?
But my
For
question is, why can't
every
we be?
person like y'all that feels like they don't want to be the police, if everybody starts thinking that way, you're gonna have a whole world of white folks yelling nigga, and then can't nobody say shit because everybody
because
said
people
they're
that's gonna
fucking
check it.
condoning it.
Because
No,
people that's gonna check it.
listen to what I said.
I get what you're saying.
Listen to what I said.
If
I said if
everybody
everybody
was.
starts thinking
Right.
like y'all, it's gonna get to a point
I'll
where
take it
nobody
further.
is gonna fight it.
No.
Because we're gonna be
I'll take it
outnumbered.
further.
that's
The
not
young
the case.
people. The young people
Not
are growing
yet.
up, but the young people, the teenagers, they're growing up in this world where they are accepting it a little bit more because here we are as adults, as adults that have encountered racism on some type of level.
Right.
Well, I have. I think you say you have. Maybe I don't. You say you haven't.
No, I said I have. I just
Okay,
never
so
been verbally
racism
assaulted.
as a whole that have encountered racism, we need to educate the young kids because the only way we can eliminate it, period, is we need to say, even if you're black, we need to be like Mike, yo, get rid of it. We don't need to do that because that's where it starts.
It does start there, but you know what? I don't feel like it's my place to check a black person for saying it.
No, but I'm
I do
talking about
feel
the
like-
kids, the children. We're
Oh, I
raising
feel you.
children.
I got you.
We have to start
My bad.
somewhere and say, hey, the black way, a black person that has grown up that way for years, yeah, they're done. But children like my
we can educate the kids. Nobody not saying that we don't need to educate the kids that the shit's
But-
not right.
but be
First of all,
nasty
you shouldn't
is
even have
young.
to educate them. Huh?
But yeah, we do. Yeah,
You're telling me that kids don't know about slavery and know about that?
No.
that it's
I'm
not
saying
right
we're not
They do,
educating
but they
him
don't
not to
understand how
say
that word
the
relates to
word,
that.
whether they're black or white. We're not saying that we should stop this word. Period. We should take it away from our vocabulary. Because if we don't stop with it, yeah, you're gonna have a lot more white people because the black kids are gonna be so cool with it. They're not
Because
gonna
think about
understand
when
it.
we were younger.
Because we're not
When we were
being the
younger,
police.
think about this. When we were all kids, I'm talking about, 12, 13. If a white kid came around y'all and said, what up, nigga?
It's a fight.
When you were 13, he got his ass whooped.
It's a fight.
Depending in my hood, depending where that white kid come from, if he's just a regular white kid, he clearly sounds white. He clearly looks white. He
What
looks
you
like
mean clearly
he
sounds
looks
white?
like a white person that's trying to sound black. Yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked. But if you grew up in that culture, was raised by like a black person, if you was raised by that and you just fucking can't help it, which was what I was saying last week, I can understand it. I'm not saying that I'd accept it. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that I don't feel it in me to check that person.
And what I'm saying is when we were younger, it was a lot less accepted, right, than it is now. If somebody like B Nasty came out in 1989 talking about nigga,
Right.
they would have snatched her ass down, somebody would have fucked her up, her career would be over. What I'm saying is now at 2011, it's not that big of a deal. So let's give 2031. You gonna have everybody saying that shit and can't
not
nobody
saying-
speak
and the
up.
fact that
Obviously
she
a
hasn't-
big deal.
and
It's
the fact-
obviously a big
yeah,
deal. It's
and
not that
I'm not
it's
saying
no
that,
problem.
but what I said before was if nobody speaks up, if everybody thinks like y'all, then
Don't
you're
say
gonna have a
I think
whole
like y'all because like
Yeah.
yo dog, you putting words in my mouth right
I'm not putting words in my
Nobody's
mouth.
saying
you
saying that it's cool
listen,
for a white
you said
person
you
to
don't
say
feel
nigga.
like you are the nigga police.